Voting Keir Starmer, the UK Premier.
Yes, he's coming tonight.
What do you think of him? Some of his colleagues in government are quite critical of you.
Well, I'm going to see him in about an hour, so I have to be...
When Donald Trump was asked about Keir Starmer, the way he answered revealed he won't forget some of the worst things Starmer and the Labour Party have said about him. From calling Trump a sociopath, tyrant, racist, sad little man, and many worse titles, the Labour set the tone of their relationship with Trump. And now, Keir Starmer is being punished by Donald Trump, because Trump is someone who holds grudges and openly announces he will take revenge. Now, when it's the start of his presidency, he might like to sound mature by saying Starmer is a good person, but everyone knows what he plans to do. Already, Trump put Starmer where he belongs by not inviting him to his inauguration, although other leaders like Italy's Prime Minister were invited, breaking the tradition. So, how has Keir Starmer lost it, and what is Trump doing with him? In this video, let's know about the whole story. Keir Starmer thought he could mock, dismiss, and openly defy Donald Trump without consequences. He assumed that just because Britain was America's closest ally in the past, the special relationship would continue, no matter who was in charge. But Trump doesn't work that way. This is a man who remembers his enemies and punishes them mercilessly. And now, Starmer is realizing just how badly he miscalculated.
But for the liars and cheaters and fraudsters and censors and imposters who have commandeered our government, it will be their judgment day.
From being snubbed at Trump's inauguration to facing economic punishment, Starmer's government is watching in horror as Britain's influence in Washington collapses before their eyes. Labour spent years mocking Trump, calling him a racist, a threat to democracy, and a political clown. But now, Trump is the one in power, and he does not forgive.
Did the Foreign Secretary take that opportunity to apologise for making derogatory and scatological references, including, and I quote, Trump is not only a woman-hating, neo-Nazi sympathising sociopath, he is also a profound threat to the international order. And if he did not apologise, will the Prime Minister do so now on his behalf? Given that most of his cabinet signed a motion to ban President Trump from addressing Parliament, will the Prime Minister show that he and his government can be more than student politicians by asking you, Mr. Speaker, to extend an invitation to President Trump to address Parliament on his... Sound like he wants to invite President-elect Trump to Parliament. He needs to look after the special relationship. The US is our single biggest trade partner. Given the risk of increased tariffs on UK exports, which threaten our manufacturing sector, will the Prime Minister commit now to continue the negotiations on our free trade agreement with the US, which the Biden administration cancelled?
Trump hates Starmer. And it's not just about politics. It's personal. Labour activists flew to the US to campaign for Kamala Harris, an unforgivable act of direct interference in an American election. This wasn't just a case of politicians making public statements. Starmer's Labour Party actively worked against Trump's re-election. On that, Trump directly said he would take legal action against Labour for interfering in US politics.
We start in the US, where Donald Trump's presidential campaign has made a legal complaint against the Labour Party here for what it claims is illegal foreign contributions and interference in the US election. A statement from the Trump-Vance campaign says the far-left Labour Party has inspired Kamala's dangerous liberal policies and rhetoric. In recent weeks, they've recruited and sent party members to campaign for Kamala in critical battleground states, attempting to influence our election. A now-deleted social media post from a senior Labour official said that there were 10 spots available to travel to the US and that the party would sort housing for volunteers. But Labour officials say activists who have been campaigning for Kamala Harris are doing so in their personal capacity and are not organised or funded by the party.
The Labour Party has played down accusations by Donald Trump's campaign team that it has interfered in the US election by sending volunteers to campaign for Kamala Harris. The Trump team complained to the US Federal Election Commission after Labour members were sent a message on the social media platform LinkedIn asking people to travel to the United States.
It's up to private individuals to choose what they do with their money and their time. It's not unusual for supporters of a party in one country to campaign for a sister party in another country. It happens both way round, as it has done this time, but none of this was organised or funded by the Labour Party, and that's quite proper.
And now Trump is getting payback. In Washington, Labor is seen as an enemy, a party that stands against everything Trump represents: national sovereignty, anti-globalism and economic nationalism. Trump wants to cut taxes and bring back the industry. However, Starmer wants globalist regulations. Trump wants a strong military alliance based on strength, not bureaucracy. However, Starmer wants weak European-style diplomacy. Before we continue further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share the video, and subscribe to our channel for more exclusive videos on the groundbreaking changes happening in British politics. Let's continue now. Furthermore, Trump wants bilateral trade deals with nationalists like Italy's Meloni and Argentina's Millet. For Trump, Keir Starmer is just another weak pro-EU, pro-China country, and he has no intention of treating him as a serious ally. However, Starmer is trying to stay relevant and appease him in any way he can to win favor. But that won't work.
On behalf of His Majesty's Government and the United Kingdom, I would like to send my warmest congratulations to President Trump on his inauguration as the 47th President of the United States. For centuries, the relationship between our two nations has been one of collaboration, cooperation, and enduring partnership. It is a uniquely close bond. Together, we have defended the world from tyranny and worked towards our mutual security and prosperity. With President Trump's long-standing affection and historical ties to the United Kingdom, I know that depth of friendship will continue. The United Kingdom and the United States will work together to ensure the success of both our countries and deliver for people on both sides of the Atlantic. Since our first meeting in September, the President and I have spoken about the need to deepen and invest in the transatlantic relationship. We will continue to build upon the unshakable foundations of our historic alliance as we tackle together the global challenges we face and take our partnership to the next level, focused on shared opportunities ahead for growth. I look forward to our next meeting as we continue our shared mission to ensure the peace, prosperity, and security of our two great nations. The special relationship between the United Kingdom and the United States will continue to flourish for many years to come.
However, if Starmer wants Trump to take him seriously, he has to do whatever Trump asks. And that would mean taking direct orders and adjusting policies as Trump wants.
I was in government when Trump came in, and this is a foreshadowing for the Prime Minister of what is going to come under a Trump administration. They will be derailed almost every day by something that the President says or what the White House releases or a decision that they make that is going to distract from what it is the government wants to talk about. I mean, we had situations in Downing Street where Trump would wander out onto the White House lawn in front of the cameras and say, oh, something's happened in the UK, I'm going to go and call Theresa, and suddenly the phone would ring in the Prime Minister's office. Oh God, the President's on the phone. And this is a foreshadowing for it.
Nothing signaled Starmer's irrelevance more than his absence from Trump's second inauguration. Trump personally invited Italy's Giorgia Meloni, Argentina's Javier Millet, and Nigel Farage, all right-wing nationalist leaders who understand the new political reality. Starmer, meanwhile, was nowhere to be seen. Even worse, Trump rolled out the red carpet for Britain's right-wing populists. Farage was honored at exclusive Trump events, rubbing shoulders with top Republican donors and advisors.
You have a man from Europe, I don't know if he's here, I saw him backstage. What he did was, and what he is doing is sort of what we did a few years ago. He's doing a great job, he's he's always been my friend for some reason. He liked me, I liked him, and he's shaking it up pretty good over there. He was the big winner of the last election in the UK, and he's a very spectacular man, very highly respected, Nigel Farage. He's a little bit of a...
Do you think you are Britain's Trump?
Not really, no. I think we're very different. But I think we think the same on many things, certainly.
You've spent a lot of time campaigning with him. What have you learned from him?
I think he's learned quite a lot from me. I think it goes both ways, yeah.
What's he learned from you?
Oh, I think he was watching my speeches in the European Parliament for many years.
Really?
Before he decided to run, yes.
He's told you that?
I know that to be true.
However, Peter Mandelson, Starmer's choice for UK ambassador, was mocked behind closed doors. His name synonymous with the corrupt globalist elite. The message was clear: Trump's America doesn't recognize Starmer's Britain. And this is just the beginning. Trump's grudge against Starmer isn't just symbolic, it's about power. He has already hinted at tariffs on allies who don't align with his vision, and guess who is first on that list? Britain.
We're going to put tariffs on outside countries and outside people that really mean us harm. They want to, well, they mean us harm, but they basically want to make their country good. Look at what others do. China's a tremendous tariff maker, and India and Brazil and so many countries. And so we're not going to let that happen any longer, because we're going to put America first. Always put America first. That's what's going to happen. We're going to establish a very fair system where money is going to come into our coffers, and America is going to be very rich again, and it's going to happen very quickly. It's time for the United States to return to the system that made us richer and more powerful than ever before.
Now Trump's economic team is preparing to hit the UK with aggressive trade demands, knowing that Starmer has no leverage in Washington. Furthermore, Labour's pro-China stance makes Britain a prime target for US trade retaliation. That's because Trump sees Starmer as a globalist sellout who would rather do business with Beijing than Washington. Interestingly, Starmer's desperation for a UK-US trade deal gives Trump the upper hand. He knows Starmer will be forced to accept humiliating terms just to avoid economic damage. Under Trump, Britain's access to US markets could shrink significantly. This would be a disaster for the UK economy, and it's entirely Starmer's fault.
I will deal with whoever is the president of America.
It's very possible that Donald Trump will return to the White House at the start of the next year. Your team has, I think, quite close links to parts of the Biden administration. Have you had any contact with the Trump team?
Well, look, you're right, we do have close links with the Biden administration. That is very important to us, particularly in terms of our history, our traditions and our values as a Labour Party. But ultimately, later this year, it falls to the American people to decide who they want as their president, and I will deal with whoever is the president of America. The special relationship, the long-standing relationship that we've had, not least on nuclear deterrence, is far stronger than the identity of the next president of the US.
Have you had any outreach or ties with the Trump campaign, the Trump operation so far?
No.
So Keir Starmer, the United States and France are Britain's biggest allies. You become Prime Minister, there could be a world in which Trump and Marine Le Pen are in office. How would you feel about this?
It's for voters in America and France to decide who they want as their leaders. And if I'm privileged enough to come into office to serve this country, I will deal with the leaders of other countries as they've been elected in by those that live there and those that voted them in.
As if Starmer's situation wasn't already bad enough, he now has to deal with the wrath of Elon Musk. Musk isn't just a billionaire, but also a key player in Trump's administration and one of the most influential figures in global politics. And he despises Keir Starmer. For months, Musk has used his X platform to destroy Starmer's credibility, hammering him over his failure to tackle grooming gangs, his crackdown on free speech and online dissent, and his alignment with European bureaucrats.
Why is the guy who is probably the richest man in the world setting out, as he has done, saying that he is going to undermine the British government, that he's trying to get rid of a recently democratically elected government in this country? That is not good,
Barry,
for democracy.
You belong to a party that sent activists to America to actively plot to, and I quote, kill Elon Musk's Twitter. Labour activists You're in a centre for countering digital hate that was set up by a certain Morgan McSweeney, happens to be Keir Starmer's chief of staff. I wonder why Elon Musk has suddenly got a really strong interest in Keir Starmer and the Labour Party. Because let's be honest, Barry, all of those statements that Labour MPs made about Donald Trump, all of those bizarre statements they made about Elon Musk, guess what? These guys don't really like that. They don't like being abused. They don't like being insulted. So they're going to call you out when you fail, like when you fail with these white working class girls in communities.
Well, look, it is about the richest man in the world trying to undermine democracy. That is wrong. And if you can't see that, Matt, then I would be very surprised.
I've spent more of my time recently looking at how the Labour Party has been undermining free speech and free expression.
On the question of Elon Musk, look, I think most people are more interested in what's going to happen to the NHS, frankly, than what's happening on Twitter. Child sexual exploitation is utterly sickening, utterly sickening. And for many, many years, too many victims have been completely let down by perverse ideas about community relations, or by the idea that institutions must be protected above all else. And they've not been listened to and they've not been heard. Those that are spreading lies and misinformation as far and as wide as possible, they're not interested in victims, they're interested in themselves. Those who are cheerleading Tommy Robinson, not interested in justice. They're supporting a man who went to prison for nearly collapsing a grooming case, a gang grooming case. These are people who are trying to get some kind of vicarious thrill from street violence that people like Tommy Robinson promote. And those attacking Jess Phillips, who I'm proud to call a colleague and a friend, not protecting victims. Jess Phillips has done 1,000 times more than they've even dreamt about when it comes to protecting victims of sexual abuse throughout her entire career. But when the poison of the far right leads to serious threats to Jess Phillips and others, then in my book, a line has been crossed.
Musk's relentless public attacks have forced Labour MPs to go on the defensive, desperately trying to downplay the damage. But the truth is, Musk's influence is massive and his direct line to Trump means that Starmer's problems are only getting worse. Musk has hinted at pushing for new investigations into Labour's failures, a move that could humiliate Starmer's government on the world stage. Furthermore, Musk has openly praised Reform UK, helping legitimize Farage's movement as a real political force. As of now, Trump and Musk are in sync, meaning that Starmer isn't just up against a US president, he is up against one of the richest and most powerful men in the world. And that man is being loved by the British people for taking a stand against Starmer.
They want Elon Musk gone, X turned off, and freedom of speech stamped out. Starmer himself has said he's going to look at social media laws in the wake of the riots and even revisit the Online Safety Act. And right on cue, of course, the Westminster elite are now circling. Guardian columnists got their knickers in a twist, saying Musk should be on trial in the UK for inciting the riots. And Keir Starmer's champagne socialist biographer, Tom Baldwin, called for regulation of social media platforms, even saying free speech was not absolute. Make no mistake, the minority racist idiots who caused the worst of these riots have opened the floodgates for a power grab of our civil liberties under this Labour government. And it's a crying shame that it's a US-based South African who's the only one with the balls to stick up for British citizens.
With Trump refusing to engage and Musk actively sabotaging his government, whispers are growing inside Westminster about whether the special relationship be repaired while Starmer is still in charge. For many in Labour, the answer is no. That's because if Starmer stays in power, Trump will continue to punish Britain economically, the UK will remain on Trump's blacklist, and Britain will be seen as weak, irrelevant, and disposable. The only way to restore relations with Trump's America is for Labour to ditch Starmer and install a leader who isn't despised by the White House. And as the months go by, more Labour MPs will start questioning whether Starmer is worth the damage.
Nonetheless, I think there is the possibility of severe turbulence ahead. And, there is a group of very, very powerful, probably they've got the intellectual edge at the moment, the Blairites, And I'm thinking of people like Wes Streeting and lots of his allies, Liz Kendall being one of his allies and stuff, inside the reformers inside government. And there is the soft left, who would probably gather, as it were, under the Angela Rayner banner these days, I think. But Louise Hay would certainly be part of that instinct. And I just really, really hope they don't go to war with each other. Because if that happens, then I think the British public will say, they're exactly like...
Now, the question remains about how long before Labour realises that the only way forward is to get rid of their anti-Trump leader and beg for Washington's forgiveness. In this matter, Trump has all the power and Starmer has none. And the humiliation of Keir Starmer is just getting started. What do you think? Will Donald Trump punish Starmer and the Labour Party by forgetting the special relations between the US and the UK? Isn't it true that the only way Britain could then have special relations with the US would be by removing Starmer? In the comments section right below, share your thoughts on whether Donald Trump has taken personally what the Labour said about him. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to get more updates on British politics and how events are changing it. Until the next video, stay tuned.